Hello, and welcome to Grade.com Talks With. Today, we're talking with Richard Ayub, Executive Director at Project Angel Food, a nonprofit agency that cooks and delivers healthy, delicious meals and offers nutrition counseling, all free of charge, to people debilitated by serious illnesses. And if you're new to our podcast, please press subscribe button either on YouTube or your podcast app. Because today we're going to learn about an organization that provides people with the right foods so they can focus on healing and staying healthy. Hello, Richard. Welcome to Great.com Talks. Very excited to have you here.
It's great to be here, Kareem.
Wonderful. Could you please describe Project Angel Food for someone who is not familiar with your work?
Absolutely. Project Angel Food was founded in 1989 in response to the AIDS crisis. Our founder, Marianne Williamson, who ran for president in 2020, wanted to make a difference for people dying of AIDS. She didn't want them to be alone, and she didn't want them to go hungry. And so she found a church in West Hollywood, and she got volunteers to go and create a kitchen there and cook meals. Then another set of volunteers would deliver those meals to people dying of AIDS. Now, here we are 32 years later, living through another pandemic, and we truly feel like we were born for this moment because the meals we serve are now medically tailored. And we aren't only serving people with HIV/AIDS, but people with cancer, heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, and kidney failure. And every one of those meals is tailored to their medical needs.
Wow. Something that started as a small project in one church with the intention of helping people with AIDS have grown to a 30-year sustainable nonprofit agency that now delivers food to multiple people who struggle with different illnesses. And the shift that you made in making it tailored, medically healthy tailored, that's quite impressive. How does it work? How were you able to medically tailor the food and nutrition for each illnesses that people who you serve are struggling with?
Well, people probably don't realize this. When we go out to dinner, when we cook some food at home, we don't realize food is actually medicine. Mm-hmm. That there are nutrients in the food that can help you get better. There's a reason people say when you have a cold, have some chicken soup. There's a reason there are certain foods associated with healing because they indeed do that. For instance, if someone has congestive heart failure, which is the most critical illness, and it's not the most critical illness. It's the illness that uses the most amount of healthcare. Mm-hmm. People with congestive heart failure, they may have a heart attack, they may have a stroke. They go to the hospital more than any other illness. Mm-hmm. And the one meal plan that can change that dramatically is a low salt diet. If you are only on 2 grams of salt a day, which is about this much salt, probably right there. In all of your meals combined, you will actually lose weight, you'll breathe better, and guess what? You'll stay out of the hospital longer. So we have registered dietitians on our staff who work with our chefs, and they each come from different viewpoints. The registered dietitians come from the science viewpoint. Here's what you need in the meal to help someone who's diabetic. The chefs come from the viewpoint, we want the meals to taste good and we want them to look good. Because if you have cancer and you're going to chemotherapy or radiation and you're nauseous, if the food looks brown and bland, you're not going to want to eat it. But you have all these colors pop out and different looks and textures, then it whets your appetite. So there's so many layers of things involved in making these medically tailored meals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we think about healthy foods, someone imagined one blend food, one color food, but then your chefs working together with nutritionists built pleasing, aesthetically pleasing, healthy, and delicious meals together. So you get best of both worlds. You get healthiness, and you get as well as deliciousness together. So that's a very beautiful result.
And what's amazing is our clients, when they receive the meals, some of them have told us, you know what, I don't even miss salt anymore. You have such exotic blends. You put different herbs and spices, and sometimes we'll do like an apricot chicken, some fruits and different flavors that they actually feel like they're going to a fancy restaurant when they get our meals.
Absolutely. So it's not just food; it's an experience that you provide. So that's great. You mentioned that you work with people who have different serious illnesses: cancer, HIV, AIDS, heart disease. How do those people usually eat unhealthy? Is there a reason for them to becoming to seeking help from your organization? Is because they seek healthy food because they have been eating unhealthy food, or is it because they struggle financially? Who are your typical clients?
Well, we strongly believe food is medicine, and science proves food is medicine, and research proves it. We've had sister organizations across the country do research projects that show these medically tailored meals do help health outcomes. They keep people out of the hospital longer. They reduce the 30-day readmission rate into the hospital. They help people take their medications more. You know, sometimes it's not a replacement for medication. You might always have to take medication. But if you have this food, it triggers this memory in your head. Oh, my doctor said take it with food, so I'll take my pill now. So medication adherence is through the roof when we get these medically tailored meals. So it's not that everyone eats poorly, but most of us do. You know, we're a fast food nation. People go to in and out very quickly through these fast food restaurants. Those fast food restaurants are packed with preservatives and chemicals, and diabetes and food has a direct correlation. You change your food, your diabetes A1C levels will improve. We know when we started in response to AIDS, we were giving comfort food, you know, mashed potatoes, you know, meatloaf, all this food that we all crave when it's cold and we feel sick. That was good for people who were wasting and people who just needed to pack on some pounds. But when we found people who were living with HIV and not dying with AIDS, we found if we give them a nutritious meal, their viral load will actually go down because, once again, food is medicine. So there's direct correlations between food and how it will help improve your health outcomes.
Absolutely. I love the approach that you mentioned. The science has proven it that food is medicine, and taking it nutritious food can impact your health. And if you are already struggling with health issues, eating nutritious food, medically proven food will help you to stay out of the hospital, which is in results affects your life positively. And so combining that and communicating that as well to people struggling from different illnesses is very important, and your organization is wonderfully doing that. You mentioned.
Thank you. Well, something else that's really important to mention is our organization does not have a financial requirement. You don't have to be low income to qualify. You have to be sick and mobility issues. You can't shop or cook for yourself. It happens that 98% of our clients are living at or below the poverty level. Mm-hmm. Also, a lot of people are food insecure, which means they may not know where their next meal is coming from. Mm-hmm. And then there's something new called nutrition insecurity. So sometimes they have food, but they don't have access to the right food, the right nutrition, and the right combination to make them healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the statistics that you shared with us, 98% of your clients happen to be struggling with finances, living below the poverty means. And not only they are struggling to seek where their food is coming tomorrow, but also where the nutritious food is coming. So the fact that you provide them a helping hand and they feel a safety net, a safe, consistent, sustainable option is incredible. And I can see the benefit for people who are your clients, who go through your program. You mentioned that you have your own kitchen, you have your own staff of chefs. How many meals do you serve a day or a month? Can you share those statistics with us?
Yeah, we just broke a record last month in March. We served 95,000 meals in 1 month. And in the year 2020, we broke a record. We served 1 million meals in that year. We usually serve 650,000, 700,000. But because of COVID, we had to do more in a shorter time, and we had to figure it out because there was such a great need. And the thing about food and food insecurity and nutritious food and people who are ill and aging is that that's not going to go away. Mm-hmm. That's not something you solve in 2 weeks or a month or in, a year. It might be multiple years. We have a motto at Project Angel Food: for life, for love, for as long as it takes. And so when we take on a client, we're there for the long haul. One of our clients was with us for 25 years. He came to us with HIV. Then he had hepatitis. Then later he had prostate cancer. And then he went through depression. He needed us for every one of those 25 years. And so we really take our job seriously, really care a great deal about our clients. And something that's really important to mention, and our founder, Marianne Williamson, says this: we're not just delivering food, we're delivering love. Mm-hmm. When you have a complete stranger come to your door, knock on the door, and bring you something that's going to keep you alive, and not just keep you alive, but make you feel better or make you heal in some cases, that is truly love. And you can't underestimate the value of the human connection, especially when we all felt so isolated during COVID. You have someone coming to your door, checking in on you. And so I've done deliveries, and I can tell you that when some of these people know that a delivery person for Project Angel Food is coming to their door, they get dressed up because they have a visitor. And sometimes I remember there was this woman, Brenda, when I went to her home, she had a bottle of water chilled, and she had a napkin wrapped around it to give to her driver to thank him and just keep him refreshed. Those are some of the things we experience when we have this human connection with people who are extremely grateful for this service.
Wow. The stories that you mentioned are very heartwarming. The fact that you have been serving food, healthy food for a gentleman for 25 years and through 3 different health struggles that he went through. And you were there just as a family member, you mentioned the importance of human connection, and seeing the delivery driver for 25 years is you don't see your family members every day for 25 years, but seeing a member of project, your project is doing that. It's like being closer than a family member. And I applaud that you mentioned your motto is not just one day. You said for life, for love, for life, and it's for as long as they need help, you are there to support them. So that's very beautiful. You have different programs on that you run, but one of the pilot programs that you recently launched is a congestive heart failure pilot program. Could you please describe to us what this program is about and what does it offer?
Yeah, this is really innovative. We have partnered with 5 sister agencies in the state of California, and the state of California is funding this research pilot program. And it's for people with congestive heart failure. And as I said earlier, they are the highest utilizers of the healthcare system. They cost us taxpayers the most amount of money. So the goal is to keep them out of the hospital longer and keep them healthier. And so we have an evaluator working on an evaluation to look at our outcomes and see how effective it is. So we have taken in about 1,000 clients across the state, and we're monitoring, did they return to the hospital after 30 days? Did they use less hospital time than before the intervention? Did they visit the emergency room less? Are they using their medication more? And overall, is the hospital utilization down? Now, the one factor that I always look at, because my main concern is taking care of the individual, has their quality of life improved? Mm-hmm. And that's really the key to what we do. We have this client, Candace, who's like a poster child for this program. She was heavily overweight. She was retaining so much salt and water because of the food she was eating. And she was going to the hospital every single month with some problem. And she said, I no longer want to be a burden on my family. Every time I go to the hospital, they have to stop what they're doing. They have to visit me. They have to take me there. It is a big hassle. I don't want it anymore. And so Candace used to lay down, and she said she felt like she was drowning. She had so much fluid in her body. She couldn't walk from one corner of the room to another corner without stopping and catching her breath. Now she can do that. She's lost 65 pounds, and her quality of life is so much better. Yes, she stayed out of the hospital. Yes, she saved taxpayers' money. But yes, she is also there for her kids and her grandkids, and she's totally present and much more active. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about this congestive heart failure program. And the goal is to prove that it's so effective that Medicaid will make it a permanent benefit, so that people who have congestive heart failure or any other illness can actually get a prescription for food like they get a prescription for medicine, because food is medicine.
Yeah, the program seems to be quite innovative that you mentioned. The fact, although it hasn't been run for so long, but initial results show, based on the story of Candice, that the results of the program is positive. It led to her visiting hospital less, visiting emergency room less. But you mentioned the most important thing that happened to her. She improved the quality of her life. Now she can spend time with her children. She feels lighter and she feels healthier. And at the end of the day, it's about humans, and it's about how it's impacting the lives. And the stories such as Candice's show that eating healthy and providing such programs is beneficial for improving the quality of life and overall the life of people affected by different illnesses. If someone would like to support Project Angel Food, how can they do that?
So anyone who wants to make a donation can go to angelfood.org/donate, angelfood.org/donate. And just so people know, $5 pays for one meal. Mm-hmm. $5 goes a very long way with us.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. The link to projectangeldonate.org will be provided in the description. So you listening or viewing can go to the website, familiarize yourself with the great work that Richard and his team are doing, and make financial contribution if you wish to. Thank you so much, Richard. It was wonderful to get to know you and the great work that Project Angel Food is doing.
Thank you. We appreciate it, and have a great day, everyone.
For you listening, if you enjoyed this conversation, please press like and share button, because this will show that podcast and YouTube algorithm that this conversation is important, that providing healthy and nutritious food for people affected by different health issues can improve the quality of their lives. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.